weekly energy and oracle reading for April 11th through 17th, 2016. Hi, little hawks. It feels like I haven't been here like in a month. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like not even, it feels like a season I haven't been here in. I don't know. That's just the way it feels to me. So before we go get White Hawk and we talk about the upcoming week, let's touch back on last week, or just gab. Last week, White Hawk was speaking about connecting the dots. I have to say it's Saturday as I do this. I'm in soccer mom mode. I am with my son this morning in soccer. I just dropped him off and I went to get myself a brew. And my daughter is playing outside today. It's very cold, but they're on a heated field. I hope she's got her little middies and stuff, because we've gone back to winter in the nation's capital, and it is freezing. And I thought, what did we do to Mother Nature? We must have done something to Mother Nature, because spring has disappeared. We're just gonna have winter here forever. I don't know, but I'm grateful for winter here right now, because I'm trying to get my house ready to put up on the market, right? And so that gives us that window of opportunity before everybody decides to go out and look for a house in the spring. You know how that kind of works? Everybody kind of wakes up in the spring when the nice sun shines and the weather gets a little warmer. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you, Mother Nature, for that. I think you're just kind of on my side that way. Yeah. So getting back to last week, it was about connecting the dots. And I have to say that hasn't occurred for me. Having said, I could be a week behind in the readings, and that's okay, because I always say this is not an exact science. It's really not when you're working with spirit. You know, when they talk kind of in their time, not in our time. It's hard to kind of get to nail them down in a time frame. You have to sort of say, so if they say, you know, you're going to be moving in the fall, you kind of have to nail them down. Is that this fall, or is that 5 falls from now? You know, because to them it's all the same. They work in a different time frame than we do. And so I haven't had any real connecting of the dots this week. In fact, I've had a kind of a difficult, challenging week with my head injury still. So I'm still dealing with post-concussion. Yes, my soap opera still continues. There is no end in sight, although the good thing is that I will be going to rehab for it in May, and hopefully they'll help me, or at least help me to learn how to live with the pain, manage the pain a lot more, because this past week I've kind of, it's actually been the last 4 weeks, to be honest with you, and I just had I had to rest. I had no choice, because it just got to that level. I was in so much pain, and then the lethargy just sort of takes over. So yes, I'm dealing with a lot, but that's okay. I am managing my world in this world. That is one of the lessons of White Hawk, and you just go with the flow, you know. And so that's where I am now, and I'm not stressing over when I'm going to get my house on the market. It's going to get on the market exactly at the right time when it's meant to, and I'm going to buy my new home exactly at the right time that it's meant to, and I'm going to move into my new home at exactly the right time that I'm meant to, and you know, I'll meet my new mate exactly at the right time that I'm meant to. So we have to trust all those things, as frustrating as it can be. So I'm just here to help us all through in the ebbs and flows in life, even with the curveballs that we get thrown a lot. And it just makes the flows that much more sweeter when they do come, right, guys? Okay, so enough. Let's go get White Hawk and let's see what he has to say for the upcoming week. I'll just find a space to park, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm stopped, and we're going to go get White Hawk and see what he has to say for the upcoming week, guys. I do this just to relax, guys, so that I can bring the message through for you guys more accurately. Because White Hawk is always here, right? He's always here. Indeed, little ones. Welcome to you one, and welcome to you all to what will portend to be a week of misgivings, a week of changing it up, but not changing it fully. And when I say that, children, what I mean is that we are moving forward, and we're probably moving forward a lot slower than we anticipated or ever wanted to. And so that is okay, because as this one has said earlier, was that you will always arrive exactly at the time you are meant to. So do not dismay on this day, in this week, when perhaps play doesn't exactly turn out as you had anticipated. I know it has been a long journey for many of you, just as it has been an extremely, excessively long journey for this one. But here's what I will tell you, is that the reason you're not to arrive exactly when you believe you're to arrive is because you have misgivings. You do not fully understand what is going on behind the scenes. So I was interrupted because a phone call came through. So that's kind of interesting. There might be some interruptions and stuff like that throughout the week. Anyway, so let's go back to continue where Whitehawk was. He was talking about misgivings and the fact that we didn't really know about what's going on behind the scenes. Okay. Indeed, he says. So you do not fully understand the extent of how spirit works, how we work simultaneously with others. We work with the universe. We work with you. We work with the seasons. We work with the weather. We work with it all. And so if you can imagine this big energy ball simultaneously churning together to, well, churn out and deliver to you exactly on time as is needed, where it is that you are meant to be, or the people that you're meant to meet up with, and so on and so forth, you can only imagine how, well, busy that would be. And although we are very calm in spirit, yes, we are, and we are very diligent, and we work very hard for you, there's a certain amount only that we can control as well. And I know that is shocking to you, but that is the reality. But you need to know that it's more than just about you. And no, I'm not saying you're selfish or anything, children. What I'm saying is it's more than just about you and you moving forward. What I'm saying is it's about other people and what's going on in their lives as well, to bring them forward. So although you may be ready, say we use the example of meeting a new mate. Although you may be ready, the mate is not ready, because perhaps the mate is still in a relationship, or perhaps the mate hasn't fully awakened to what it is that they truly desire in their life, or perhaps they're still giving up many things in their life for their partner, and they aren't fully frustrated by it yet. Or perhaps they're moving to your city, and that hasn't occurred yet from the perspective of work. Perhaps the transfer hasn't come through. Perhaps the lawyer's papers haven't been finalized, or whatever he says. So there's all this stuff that's going on, and you can't know all this stuff over here. So you sit here going, come on, come on, come on, what's going on? Come on, come on, come on. And as much as you're trying to control it, children, you cannot. So the best it is that you can do is just simply step out of the picture and move on with your life, and move forward in your life, and enjoy your life. Oh my goodness, enjoy your life, yes. And you will bump into that new mate, bump into that new job, bump into into friends, bump into a vacation, whatever he says, exactly at the right time. And so that is where your misgivings are. And so I'm here to remind you that it will be a week of juxtaposition, of being here, being there, of not quite understanding how what you have been told will happen will actually materialize, because it'll be very confusing saying, well, I'm ready. I've been ready for the last 10,000 years. Why is it not occurring yet? And then you come to us and you plead with us and you beg with us and you pray to us and you try to control us, and you cannot control us, of course, he says, but it is very cute how you do. Begging and pleading, but we cannot tell you perhaps what it is or why. Because could you imagine if perhaps the reason you had to wait for a new mate was because their mother had to die first? Would you want to know that? Would you want to be responsible in feeling and knowing that your new mate will not arrive because, well, first your mate has to go through that process of grieving for the loss of a parent? Would you want to know that? No, no one does. No. You would not want to know what everybody has to go through to get to where they are. Another example would be, would you like to know someone has to lose their job first? Would you like to know that someone, has to get a very bad injury? He says, you would not want to know all these things. And the only reason I share this with you is to open up your perspective, to help you sort of understand, and perhaps it will give you more patience in your world and in your life to say, okay, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, fairies. Thank you, everyone who's involved in this situation. And then just give it up for the best and highest good, that it is working for you, but just not in your timeline, in the timeline instead. And if you can do that, your life will become a lot more simpler, children, not so complicated. Can you do that? He asks that. And y'all are kind of like, wow, like you just can't believe. It's not a sermon he delivered, but you can't believe all the information he just handed down to you to help us understand everything that is moving us forward in life. But you are grateful, but indeed it is an eye-opening lesson. And so he says, and so I say, namaste. Yes, it is different, he says. But namaste, nonetheless. God bless, children, to an eye-opening week. God bless. Thanks, Whitehawk. Well, there you have it. That is fascinating, isn't it? I mean, what he just said. I mean, would you want to know what everyone's going to have to go through to get to where you are? I mean, oftentimes, the most painful endings are beginnings, but you wouldn't want to know all that just yet, would you? Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm Tracy. If you liked what you heard here, please give me a thumbs up. Join me on all my other social media. I'd love to hear from you there. And we'll see you here next week.